Hey y'all, what's up? Big Willie here, and welcome back to another episode of our Ragnamod VII Let's Play. So in today's episode, we are going to get into our alloy kiln. We're going to see if we can go to the nether to shortcut having to do a bajillion hexeri crafts for our blast furnace. So without further ado, let's get into it. So here we are on the handy dandy clipboard. I've got the alloy kiln, the blast kiln, talks about our bricks. Can we go to the nether? We need to go to the undergarden to get the eutherium crystals, which you get from killing mobs, or I think you can loot them. I'm not sure. It tells us in the quest book. So one of the first things to just tackle on there is the alloy kiln should be easy for us. It is just some bricks and some sandstone. So, and we're going to need, I think the alloy kiln is a 2x2, so it's not very big, if I remember right. Let's go check the quest book. Alloy kiln, yeah, we only need 8 of them for a little 2x2, and it is going to allow us to make brass to get further into create. So let's grab out some sand, and then we should be able to make some sandstone. So it takes 2 per, so that's 2, 4, 6, 8. There we go. We should only need 8. Then we can toss that back in there, and I should have bricks that we smelted before. So now this should be as simple as split this stack and split this stack. And there are our 8 kiln bricks for our alloy kiln. I guess let's just put it out here. We'll make this area our, do stuff spot, where we set up all this stuff temporarily. Now, we're going to need an engineer's hammer. Don't remember what it costs to make it. I think it needs some string for sure. String. And then let's see. Engineer's hammer. There we go. So now, to activate our alloy kiln, we just right click it. And now, as you can see, you put 2 things in there, you give it fuel, and it'll give you another item. So in our quest book, that is going to want us to make brass. Brass in the alloy kiln is zinc and copper, and it's going to turn into brass for us. We need brass to make the next tier of casings for our create stuff. So we need copper and zinc. Sure. Probably don't want to use all of our zinc just in case we have other issues. I wonder if this will run on regular coal or if it needs to be a block of coal. Let's find out. So let's put about half of our zinc in there and let's see how it goes. There we have it. Brass. Now, brass is going to allow us... Ooh, it gives us a sword. Neato. Brass is going to allow us to make our deployers and get further into create. But one of the next pieces that we need to do for all of that is we're going to need to make rose quartz. Rose quartz is just fluorite, which we've found in these mounds, combined with redstone in this pack. That's how we're going to make our initial rose quartz. So let's go ahead and make some, even though it's not on the checklist, because it's part of this little create process. So we'll just make all 4 that we have enough of, and it's going to give us some sandpaper so that we can make the polished rose quartz to make our electron tubes. Now, we're going to need to get into making some smashy doohickeys and some water wheels and some other create things to get rotational force going, but this, for now, is enough to keep us rolling. So over here, we're going to need to make some shafts out of that andesite. We're going to need to get into some rotational power, make our first andesite casings, which will then unlock us into making our press, which we need the press to make our mechanical deployer that it wants us to make along with other things. So that is not the plan for what I wanted to get done today. So we're just going to toss this stuff into a chest and pretend none of this happened. No, I mean, we're not going to pretend that nothing happened, but we are going to toss it into a chest. Hey, that sword is better than the sword I'm carrying. Don't know how durable brass is, so let's toss our iron sword in there, just in case it breaks. But there we have it. So there is our alloy kiln. That is step number 1. Now, let's put our engineer's hammer in our handy dandy tool belt so that it gets out of the way. Now, for the blast kiln, can we go to the nether? That's really the next question, even though it's kind of out of order, because if we can't, then we've got to go spend a bunch of lava, get a ton more clay, and all of that. But if we can go to the nether, we can super simplify this. So there were these pillars we have seen around of obsidian. Let me go find one, and we will see if we can mine it with our diamond-tipped pickaxe. Okay, here we are at one of these random obsidian pillars. Let's see if we can mine it. Yes, we can. Yes, indeed, we can. Okay, so now that we can mine that, let's grab ourselves some kind of wood here. Let's turn this wood into planks, and we're going to pillar up and just grab that block of lapis up there because it's a block of lapis, and, you know, you need the lapis. You'll notice I'm eating some golden carrots. I just was tired of fidgeting with food for now, so I took the carrots we started growing last episode and made us some golden carrots to eat. That way we've got a food source that gives us enough saturation that we're not eating every 12 seconds. And, you know, they're a new one, so it gave us a new heart, too, when we ate them. All right, let's head back to base. Let's make a flint and steel. Let's see if going to the nether is possible. I'll meet you back at base. Alrighty, here we are back at base. I made us what looks like a nether portal. Let's see if it'll light. That's going to be a no. Well, at least we know we can't go to the nether. So now that means we need 189 clay balls so that we can make up the number of bricks that we need to take our hexeri cauldron over near the lava, and we will sit there and make our blast bricks. So give me a minute. I'm going to go adventure. I'm going to go find the clay balls, and then I will meet you guys over near the lava area so that we have access to enough lava to make all of our bricks. All right, y'all. So I found our clay. I smelted up all the bricks we're going to need. I've got our cauldron, some lava, some bricks, and the maze stone. And I've traveled all the way back out here to where the Hydra lives because that's where lava is. I think there should be enough lava sources right here in this pool for us to get the task done. So we need to not put all of those in there. We need to put one of those in at a time, fill the rest with brick. And then now, per the recipe, if we put in 2 buckets of lava, it should give us our blast brick and leave a half a bucket of lava in there. So now, rinse and repeat. I am going to do that 26 more times to get us the 27 blast bricks we need for our setup. So unless something eventful happens, I will meet you guys back at the base once we've got all of our blast bricks. All right, y'all, here we are back at base. Let's make our blast furnace. So it is the same as the alloy kiln, except it's a 3x3 instead of a 2x2. So that's why we needed 27 of these bricks. So we're just going to place all 27 of the blast bricks down, then pull out our handy dandy engineer's hammer and give it a whack. There we go. So now we have our crude blast furnace. Let's see what they wanted us to smelt in here. So smelting in here, to get steel, you're going to need to make a blast furnace. It's a 3x3 that alloys ironwood in this pack with charcoal to produce coal coke or pet coke to produce steel. So we can use the hexeri cauldron, which we did. So we're going to need ironwood, which is the stuff, live root, and we have to combine it with iron. Now we have one right here, so we can go ahead and make our first. I unfortunately smelted up all of the... My doors keep getting jank, and I'm not sure why they're doing this. I swear I just fixed that door a minute ago, and now the block is the other way. It's so weird. All right, so then what we'll do here is we are going to take our charcoal in the bottom, and it says ironwood, right? No. That's not it. So how do we do this? Do I just put the charcoal in there? No, that's not working either. Let's go reread our quest. In this pack, it is 3 that alloys ironwood with charcoal, coal coke, or pet coke to produce steel. Oh, maybe it wants the ironwood ingots? We've got those. So, there we go. Ironwood ingots. So, sweet. We'll just need to make more ironwood to make our steel, but this is going to produce our first little bit of steel. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Oh, it gives us a whole block of ironwood. Sweet. We'll be able to make our launch pads, our fuel refinery. Gonna need to get into deployers and get into some create as well. Probably gonna be something we do get into in this episode today because this is not taking as long as I thought it would. So there we have it. Steel ingots. That is going to give me a whole block of ironwood for free, which I can then turn into 9 more ingots that we're going to turn all of it into steel. So there we go. We would need to produce coke, which we would need a coke oven for, as it was saying, if we don't want to make charcoal, but quite frankly, we can just make a ton of charcoal in our other thing over here. Let's just take a whole stack of logs and we'll get ourselves a whole stack of charcoal going. So that's going to spit out a bunch of charcoal for us for some more steel making. I'm sure we're going to need an absolute ton of steel, which also means we're going to need a renewable source of ironwood. We're going to need live root somehow, some kind of way. We're going to need to get a bunch of live root. Yeah, we're going to have to run around and hunt it, I guess. So that gets us steel. That is awesome. Now, it says we can make a rocket launch pad, iron plates. 4 steel ingots are going to give us 9 rocket launch pads. I don't need 9 of them. Unless this is, this is beyond Earth, so it might not be the one giant one like you get in Ad Astra. You might have to put all of those down. Okay. It's a 3x3 square. Yeah, so we need 9, and it gives us 9 more. That way we have a way to get back when we get to the other end. Okay. Now, the fuel refinery. We're going to need 4 steel ingots, a furnace, some buckets, and redstone dust. Let's go ahead and bookmark that. We've done our grout. We did our seared casting tables. We've done our tinker stations. Let's clear out our quest list here. We're going to need more belt pouches. We'll leave that. And the rest of this, alloy bricks, we did do. Cool. So we've got our crude oil for this. Ooh, making this is going to give us some more steel. So let's take our first 4 steel and make that. There we go. So now we have 4 steel. Let's go make our fuel refinery. We are going to need 2 empty buckets. There we go. And then what else did we need? A furnace. So, and I just need some cobble. Let's toss some in this barrel so we have it. Now we should be able to make our furnace. There we go. And then now we should be able to make the fuel refinery. Heck yeah. Making progress. All right, so our refinery is going to be used for our spaceport. Let's let's go like over here with it. Something like this. Is there any live root hiding under here? None of that was live root. Are you serious? That was andesite though. Heck yeah, I'll take all that andesite. Oh, there's some live root finally. We're gonna need a bunch of that. So, oh wow, we got like a stack and some change of andesite. That is nice. We're gonna need a ton of andesite alloy for all of the create stuff we need to get going. So getting that is awesome. Let's toss a torch down in this hole so that we don't end up dying. By falling in it or something. I really don't want to waste any andesite for filling in that hole, but I don't want to fall in it either. Let's do this. There we go. All right, so how does the fuel refinery work? No clue. I have not played with the Beyond Earth pack. Ooh, let's eat our frog leg we got because the frog committed suicide earlier. Well, I mean, he committed frogicide, I guess. I don't know. He jumped in the lava while we were standing there, and I just sort of pointed and laughed at him. Okay, so let's go dump some crude oil in here and see what else we need. Okay, energy. We need power. All right, how are we supposed to get power for this? There's steel, more steel. Nice. Somehow we're supposed to get power. Ooh, more steel. Heck yeah. Compressor, oxygen loader, launch pad, oxygen cans. None of that is power. Do we have... What kind? Do we have like coal generators? Coal generator. Takes dye, redstone torch, and a machine frame, which takes dash. So that is not an option. I think those early solar panels do, but, you know, this is the Twilight Forest. Do we get anything out of those? Let's go to miscellaneous, solar flux, solar panel 1. Okay, mirror, glass and iron. Okay, let's see if we can make us a solar panel and see if it generates anything in the Twilight Forest. We're going to need glass, which we don't have a lot of. Let's interrupt our charcoal making to get some more glass. Put the logs back in there. Okay. Now, was there any glass left in here? No. So we're going to need... Was it panes or blocks? It's blocks. Okay, and that gives us 3. That's enough to make 1. Okay. So here we go. Mirrors. Let's make a mirror. And then a solar panel. We just need planks. Which, aren't there some logs? Cool. There we have that. Let's see if this solar panel actually makes any RF in the Twilight Forest. I guess this would be our pathway, considering it's the only thing I've seen so far, but maybe there's more. Ooh, do we have the mod where this stuff's going to grow to the moon, or is it just going to grow 4 high? I guess we ought to figure that out, too. Okay, so I am not sure where that cut off. Hopefully I can splice this together. I made a solar panel. I think I caught all of that, but somehow farting keeps getting enabled. Let me go turn farting off. If you want to fart on people, Control P turns on fart. Why there's farting in Minecraft, I don't know. But actually it's just the letter P, apparently. But we're turning it off. I don't need to fart. And Control P is what I use to pause while recording. And so when I hit that, it turns farting off and on. And I think, oh yeah, we didn't pause it until, it didn't happen until I put the solar panel on here. So solar panel is generating no FE. We are in the Twilight Forest, which does have a certain amount of light, but I'm guessing it's not enough that this solar panel is going to generate power for us, which leaves me wondering, what were they thinking for us for power at this point in the game? Because while in the Twilight Forest, I think there is like a little bit of a day-night cycle, I don't think any of that is going to be bright enough to get us solar. So this is not how we're going to power our fuel refinery. Let's go take a look and make sure we're not missing something else in the quest line. Modular routers, click machines, small production of ice and lava, chunk loader, summoning altar. Then we're wandering traders through space. Waystones. Temp pads. Scanner. Item collectors. Target dummies. Bosses. Tinkers. Doesn't make RF. Now, create. Are they going to send us to magnets to make power? Do we really have to, like, go that deep? Give me a minute while I poke around and see how they want us to make power. All right, y'all. I think I found where they want us to go for power. It looks like we're headed down the immersive engineering road. So it looks like the first one it wants us to get into is the thermoelectric generator, which means we're going to have to figure out how to gather some blue ice. Likely we need silk touch, or it wants us to craft it some kind of way, which I have not necessarily figured out, but let's get started. I went ahead and broke our blast furnace to get that quest line completed. It's going to want us to make a coke oven for the quest here as well, because with the coke, we'll get creosote, then we can make the treated woods for all of the other immersive engineering stuff. It looks like the earliest one it wants us to get into for power, without getting into water wheels and stuff, is going to be the thermoelectric generator. It says that it uses lava and blue ice to get power. I think we can use water with it too, but let's get started. So we need to make some engineer's cutters and a screwdriver, which means we need to make an iron rod. Oh gosh, which means we need to make a rolling mill and get into create. Okay, so I guess we're going down the create road first. Let's do some of the basics of create, especially now that we just found a bunch of andesite and we have plenty of iron. So for the basics of create, for those of you that have never played with it, it's actually really simple. It's going to be a ton of iron nuggets and andesite, unless the recipes have been changed, like in our streaming series on Uncharted Expeditions. Totally different. But to make your andesite alloy, which we do have a good bit of right now, it's andesite and iron nuggets or zinc nuggets, and that will make you your andesite alloy. Now, right now, I'm not going to craft up a bunch. I'm going to save this iron in case we need it for other things. But first things first, let's get some shafts going. Shafts are the core of all the stuff that rotates in Create. That's going to get us more of this. Looks like it wants us to make a small cog, a large cog, and a water wheel. Let's make sure the water wheel recipe is nothing unusual. It isn't. Okay, so let's go with the water wheel. That's going to be our earliest form of rotation. We go to uses on it. We will be able to make it into a large water wheel, which is even better. Let's go ahead and make a couple of these. We're going to need more planks. Let's just make all those into planks. And let's make one more water wheel and make it into a large one. There we go. So now we've got two large water wheels, which should give us more than enough rotational force once we set them up, stress units as they're called, to get going. Let's make our engineer's wire cutters, which we need, and then our engineer's screwdriver is going to require an iron rod, which, oh, I guess we could do in the casting table. That saves us having to make a rolling mill. And we do only need one, but we do need to smash some stuff and all that with create. So let's keep going down the create route. Now, for our cogs. So cogs for single cog, the small ones are going to be just like this. Let's go with about 10. Then if we take and put two of them, two planks like that, let's go ahead and make like 10 of these. That's going to get us our large cog wheels. There we go. We're just screaming through this stuff. Now, windmills we could make, but we just made water wheels, so let's use the large water wheels. Let's claim all these quest rewards. We get some extras of all the stuff we've just made. Now, next things next. Engineer's goggles. What's keeping me from create quest? Mechanical press. It wants me to make the press. So now we need to make some andesite casings. So casings are pretty simple. We're just going to need some logs. Any old log will do. Let's grab some of these. And then we need to strip them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. let's grab out our... I need to get my tool belt upgraded because here, once again, I'm missing a tool that I need, and I have to come back to a chest for it. Those doors are going to get on my nerves if they keep inverting themselves. All right, now, oh, just forget you. Who would want to place torches down instead of logs? The guy with them in his offhand? Yeah, you're right. Okay. I'm sorry. Now, I wonder if Vein Mine will let me strip. Nope, it won't. All right, so we need to strip all these logs because this is how we're going to make our andesite casings. We can actually go ahead and kill another quest too because we've already made some brass in our alloy kiln. So if we grab out this brass, there's our brass casing. Okay, and then now, make up some andesite. Okay. There we go. Andesite casings. Brass casings are, for some reason, not unlocked yet. I guess we haven't really made it all the way there in the quest progression. So we'll save some brass. Let's go ahead and do a copper one too, so that we have that handled. Oh, I got some more ironwood. We put our charcoal in there, and I wonder if it'll do a whole block. Oh, it will. Nice. So that'll turn a whole block into a block of steel. Awesome. Now, the reason we're kind of just getting a bunch of this is once you get into Create, it's like, as you start working on things, you're going to realize, oh, I need like 6 of these and 12 of those. And if you have to stop every 5 seconds to make more casings, it gets kind of annoying to have to keep making them over and over. So I like to just make a bunch, maybe even more than I'll actually need, just so that when I'm ready to craft something, I hopefully have enough, you know, at least for whatever it is that we're currently working on. So that there is going to get us this quest credit. Now, mechanical press is the next thing we need to make because some of the stuff that we're getting into requires plates, iron plates, steel plates, stuff like that. We're going to need rotational force, stress units, in order to proceed. So let's grab out a bucket of water or 2. So let's pick somewhere for our early game create setup. How about right back here? Cool. Let's go right up against this tree because then I can place the water wheels right there. So we've got 3 large water wheels. 1, 2, 3. Now, you can change the color of these by right-clicking them with a log. I don't know if the canopy logs are in here. It looks like they aren't, but most of the vanilla logs are, so if you don't want them to look like spruce or whatever you created them with, you can just right-click them with another color. Now, in this version, I think these benefit from multiple sides having water on them. So we're going to bring some logs out right here, and then over across the back. And this is going to give us somewhere to place our water so that it can flow down and around the top of the water wheel. So if we get out our water, we put it there, should start spinning. Now, we don't want a giant mess of water, so let's do this. Let's grab out this dirt. Put it right there to stop it from flowing. And then if we break one more, there we have it. Now when we put our water up top for everything, it will not flow all over our base. We could also make an infinite water source down here. And then we don't have to run back and forth to get water. There we go. Now that middle one is infinite. And we should be able to break this out. Now, this is 1.18. In 1.18, I do believe that in Create, it benefits from up to 2 sides of your water wheel having water flowing across it. So having it flow down from the top and having it flow from underneath will actually get us more stress units. Now, I could be wrong. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong in 1.18. I don't honestly know. I'm just going off of my memory of Create here. So I do know that I'm going to need to get one block lower so I can see these. There we go. So that one can go there. And then if we fill back in along this edge. Now, we should have water flowing back that way. So now let's place 2 more buckets of water across the top up here. And this should get us as much rotational force as we are going to get out of it. So in order to utilize this rotational force, we will take some of those shafts that we made, but we left them in our table, so we'll just make some more right now. And we can pull this out. And as you see, there we have it. We've got spinning rotational force that we can use, but we can't do anything with it yet because we don't actually have anything that'll run on it. So let's go make that press. I think getting our mechanical press done is probably going to bring us to a stopping point for today's episode, because this has run a little long, as, you know, I didn't look at the clipboard and got distracted. This is distracted Wooly. Let's see. Yep, we did our blast bricks. We did our blast kiln. Oh, we were going to go to the Undergarden. All right, well, we'll go to the Undergarden next time. Create is necessary for us in this pack to get things going. So this is not a waste of time. But as you saw right there, we got a mechanical press. Let's come look at our create quest lines, because there's some stuff that I would like to get into to help us out, but I don't know if we're there yet. Yeah, see, rotational speed controller is over here, and we've got a good ways before we get into that. We're going to have to get into rose quartz. We're going to have to get into this chromatic compound, which means we need to make a mechanical mixer. Let's see if we can get that done. Nope, we need iron plate first. Okay, so let's go smash up. Let's end today's episode with smashing up some iron plate for the fun of it. So this is going to take forever to smash anything. Even though we've got plenty of stress units available to us, it's just going to take forever. But if we do some ratioing of the gears with, I think it is a big cog going into a small cog connected to a big cog, you'll notice this big cog is spinning faster than that big cog because we are stepping up the rotational speed. Now, if we want to do these in a line and not have it be like crazy mass of gears, if we take and we put an andesite casing right here, that will prevent this next one from interacting, and we can step our speed up right here. And then we can put another large, and if we put another casing right there, we can put another small, and then we can do another large. Same thing, you get the idea. And then we can put another small here. Now, that is going to get us spinning pretty darn quick to hopefully run our press. So if we put our press right here, now we can just put something on the ground right underneath it, or if we dig this out, we can go make ourselves what's called a depot. So a depot is going to be a spot for us to be able to place items to be smashed more than one at a time, and they aren't sitting on the ground and they don't despawn. So that depot is just some of the andesite casing we've already made, and you guessed it, andesite alloy. So now we needed iron plate. It looked like 5 of them for the whisk or the mixer. So if we take 5 iron ingots, we put them right there. As you can see, we will get our iron plate. This iron plate is going to allow us to continue down the create progression line here with our mechanical mixer, and it's going to allow us to get into rotational speed controllers, which makes it where we can do all of this without having to do 86 gears. You just have one block and you tell it how much you want to crank it up. That's going to be awesome. But that is going to have to be something for the next episode. So I hope you guys have enjoyed today's episode. I hope you have been able to follow along and learn something. We did learn that solar does not work in the Twilight Forest. Boo! But I also was looking right here, and it looks like we might be able to get into an alternator, but I don't know what all it's going to take, because an alternator would be another way. Looks like all that stuff we can get to. And mechanical crafters, crafting table, brass casing, electron tubes. Okay, so it looks like we may be able to get into the alternator to make RF using create rather than having to go down the immersive engineering route. We'll just have to see in the next episode. So if you've liked it, hit that like button. If you're not already, subscribe and ring the bell for future episodes, and we will see you all next time.